Welcome to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm John. We're a couple of overweight barbecue enthusiasts trying to share our love for sweet and smoky food with the world.
Thanks for hanging out with us as we talk about life, share recipes, successes, and failures that have all led to our love of cooking outdoors. Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of Fat Guys with Smokers. We have two extremely special guests. One, a longtime friend of the show, Haley, who was on one of our first episodes. And coming in clutch, Whitney.
Thanks.
Hey, ladies, how you doing? Oh, yeah, and Allie's here, too, because she will not go to bed. So, you win some, you lose.
Hey, we have always said that we're authentic. Whit tried to talk us into editing out some of this, and we're holding true to our values. We refuse.
We are
Yikes.
straight up authentic.
Yeah, welcome, ladies. How do you feel about being here?
So excited.
I know Whitney's been looking forward to it for a while.
For the 1 hour that I knew it was happening.
Oh, what?
For the record, the theme for tonight's show was Whitney's idea.
It was, but for you two to do it with each other. You know?
No.
Look, there's plenty of awkward moments on this show. I don't think we need to add more awkward moments by Mike and I asking each other questions about.
Well, we stare into each other's eyes and hold hands, tell each other how special we are. John, where you at?
I'm in wonderful Orlando, Florida. Actually, Lake Buena Vista. I'm right around the corner from Walt Disney World right now. On a wonderful work trip. So it worked out that we were going to have the girls on, and the studio's not quite big enough for 4 people the way it's set up right now. So doing this on Zoom actually worked out great because I'm 2,000 miles away.
Well, and I, for one, really have missed doing Zoom stuff since the world opened back up again. So I'm just happy to be back doing this.
Said nobody. Nobody ever.
It's not awkward at all. Nobody's going to be talking over each other. It'll be great.
Yeah. Well, without further ado and any more awkward banter, let's kick this off and let's hand it off to Whit. Whit, this was your idea. What are we talking about tonight?
Okay, this is your getting to know you episode. I thought we should just grill you guys, or really I thought you should grill each other, but just the weird stuff. I don't know.
Yikes.
All right.
Are we just rolling with it?
We're just rolling with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my first question for you. Now, I said this was going to be first date questions, but let's be real, that's a little boring. So I may have an agenda with this first question. Mike might not like it, but oh shoot, I've got to read it because if I swipe up, do you go away?
I mean, we go away for you, but nothing happens.
Okay. Okay. The question, I had to make sure I worded it right, but what is the dumbest way you have injured yourself?
The dumbest way I've injured myself.
Mike, I'm thinking about your childhood, but I mean,
I don't get it. John, you want to go first? Are we both answering these questions, or is it just?
I mean,
yeah, why not?
I'm
Go
trying
ahead,
to
John.
think. I mean, I've like thrown my back out picking a tissue up off of the floor before.
Nice.
Like, I feel like that's
That's
pretty dumb.
super hardcore.
Like, forget to bend at the knees and like just bend with your back, and all of a sudden I'm laying on the couch and Haley's asking me why she has to help me from the couch to the bed.
Got
I
better
feel like,
stories than that one.
what better stories do I have than that one?
Your shoulder, your finger.
Hey, both of those were acts of love and devotion.
Yikes. What'd you do?
I originally tore my rotator cuff carrying, was it Rob? I think it was Rob. I was carrying
Oh,
Rob
the
out.
Aggie game.
Well, it was a company party at the university, and I was walking out of the spectrum, and I fell, like I caught ice, and instead of trying to catch myself, I just like went to protect Rob because he was sound asleep, and I like caught him, cradled him. He slept through the whole thing, but I couldn't lift my arm for like 8 weeks, and eventually ended up having surgery a couple years later.
That's not dumb. That's heroic, John.
Right? And then the other one, I'm glad Haley brought this up. In a Christ-like spirit of service, our neighbors, Mel and Carrie, they had ordered some boulders, and the dump truck driver just like dumped the boulders in the middle of the road. Like it was literally blocking half the road. So like big landscape rocks. So we went into like panic mode as we were helping them try and get the rocks out of the road. Haley went inside and was taking care of the kids, which was totally fine. She was pissed at me that I wasn't helping her with the kids and helping our neighbors instead, and wished that I would get hurt.
I can't hear any of this.
Well,
Ooh, you heard it here first, folks. Jeez.
Well, as a result, I ended up smashing one of my fingers between the boulder and the curb. I've got x-rays of my finger. It looks like a nuclear bomb went off, like a mushroom cloud of the bone at the tip of my finger. The ER termed it as a partial amputation of my finger because Haley was mad that I wasn't helping with the
She
kids and
cursed you.
helping the neighbors instead.
Good heck, Haley, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down.
So that those are the two accidents that Haley thinks are dumb. But I don't know if Haley's getting all that. She texted me and said that I was freezing. Was I freezing for you guys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just roll with it.
It must be Haley's crappy internet service, not mine.
Mhm.
Which is also mine. All right. So
well, mine is probably way less wholesome than that. I was not doing anything out of love. Are you thinking bungee jumping? Is that what you're thinking?
I was thinking bungee jumping, but now listening to them, I feel like you could also tell the monkey bar story in our early marriage.
I don't know. I was probably 9, and I watched somebody bungee jump. Must have been on TV or something. I was like, I bet I could do that. Like I get it. I get the principle. So I climbed up the tree in my parents' front yard and took the dog leash that we had and tied it around a very thin limb and hooked the clips to my belt loop. So I was like, all right, yeah. I mean, what could go wrong? And looking back, I'm like, who just goes? You know, like I just sent it. There was no like flow. I just jumped. And I was a husky feller. And so my belt loop immediately ripped and I landed right on my rump. I was like maybe 6 inches from a sprinkler. Like it would have impaled me had I landed on it because I was coming down with a little gusto. That was probably the dumbest that I've ever done. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, sweetheart. Appreciate that.
That needed to be shared.
Oh, gosh.
This is like bringing back all sorts of childhood memories. I ran through a screen door, but I had been yelled at numerous times for coming into the garage hot on my bike.
Mhm.
And we had like 2 or 3 steps up into the kitchen. And I came in hot one day and hit the first step and catapulted myself through the screen door into the kitchen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So
First question
all right.
in the book.
Haley,
Over to you.
I was texting John before this. I was like, I don't do very well under pressure. I didn't have enough notice.
Haley, our tens of listeners are depending on you right now.
I don't know if this is a very good question or not. But what would be your game plan if there was a zombie apocalypse?
I like it.
Zombie apocalypse.
May I remind you both that you have families to take care of. So don't forget that.
I was just thinking about this the other day.
Of course you were.
I think I've got a pretty solid plan.
Let's hear it.
I think first, so Whitney grew up on a farm out in the middle of nowhere. So she lives kind of up on a hill. So it's a great, like, strategic position. So I think we'd go out there. I mean, her parents would be long gone by then. Her mom would basically give herself up to a zombie just to, end it. So I think we would go out there. We would get ammunition. I'd take the dogs with me, obviously. And I think that we could survive off pheasants and raccoons for quite a while. And then there's wheat fields, so we could make our own bread. So I'm feeling pretty good about our chances, at least for at least a couple of months. And at that point, I mean, who knows?
Do you know how to take that wheat and make some bread?
I've watched some YouTube videos. Yeah, I think we could, as long as YouTube doesn't go down, I think we can really do well in a zombie apocalypse. I'm going to need some how-to videos on a few things, obviously, but yeah. I think you can pretty much do anything with YouTube these days.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you went first. Mike. Because now knowing your plan and knowing that you're in need of someone who knows how to make bread, I have a wheat grinder.
Okay.
So
yes,
I would bring my family, my firearms and ammunition, and come out to the homestead with you.
Yes. Immediately, yes. We would obviously bring the smokers.
But here's the thing. I was just thinking about this. Because while, yes, smokers seem like a logical choice here, and there's some cattle around there that I feel like if it's zombie apocalypse, like cattle wrestling is it's free game.
All bets are off. Absolutely.
But I also feel like lighting a fire and delicious smelling meat might attract some things. But there's the whole like dead, so can they smell anything? Like, can they taste anything? I don't know. So we'd have to test
Good
it out a
question.
little bit. But that literally was a thought that went through my head: is do I bring the smoker or not? Because am I going to attract more zombies?
Very valid argument. One that I had not considered.
But yeah, depending on the density of the zombies, I'd probably drag the trailer out there. Give us a little more space to live. And yeah, I think between the two of us and our 6 boys, like, we ought to be able to get down. I mean, Kyle and Robbie could probably take on 4 or 5
Single-handedly.
zombies all by
Dude.
themselves.
Kyle and Robbie, I can just see them shirtless with like war paint all over them, just running around like crazy in a loincloth and living their best life. Absolutely.
I was thinking a little bit more like Rambo with the Glocks and the AR-15, just like ready to go to town.
100%.
Second-born children, man.
Hey, there would be proper gun safety and muzzle management taught. So
100%. You don't have to call anybody.
All right. Okay.
Whit, over to you.
All right. I feel like maybe I should have run these by you so you're not caught off guard, but where's the fun in
That
that?
would be.
What is your most useless talent?
I mean, I feel like all of the talents that I've invested in, like, have benefited me at some point in time in my life. I mean, I can BS with the best of them, which, while seems like an invaluable talent, has saved me more times than I can count. Useless talent. I don't know, Haley. What do I do that's useless? I mean, I can sleep on the couch better than almost anybody that I know.
It's a great question to ask when you're 2,000 miles away.
Right? Oh man, that's a tough one.
Okay, scratch that. Here's a new one.
Okay, I was going to say, Mike, do you have an answer?
Bring it on.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's hear it.
I can watch a movie one time and remember the most obscure quotes from it. And like if I hear a song a couple of times, I memorize it really quickly. I cannot for the life of me remember what Whitney tells me we're doing this week. Like
It's true.
I have a pretty good memory for useless stuff, but the important stuff, nothing. Like it goes in one ear and out the other. But I can quote you the entirety of Tommy Boy without missing a beat. That's probably my most useless talent.
I have an answer now.
All right, let's hear it.
Mike inspired me. This might not be my most useless, but it's definitely not going to save me anywhere for anything. Well, I do quote movies, and that is an important skill in my relationship with Haley, because movie quotes are her love language. I can make up lyrics to a song and sing them with the confidence that is unmatched. I will sing them as if they are the real lyrics to a song, to the point where I will believe
they
in
are
my
not?
soul of soul No, nor do I care, because in my heart, they are the lyrics to the song.
I get that. I feel that.
And that's pretty useless. But at least two
Like
of
it.
my boys have inherited that skill, so I'm quite proud.
That's awesome.
All right. Haley, you're up.
Okay, we'll see how this one goes. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, I've got lots of answers for this one. I lived in South America. You want me to go, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead.
Weird things I've eaten. Probably at least the one that makes people the most like squirmy are the aguaje grubs that we used to barbecue in Peru. And it's like straight out of The Lion King. Looks just like some of the stuff that Timon and Pumbaa pull out from the log. And Whitney, you pull a face, they're delicious.
Is it slimy yet satisfying?
They would be if you ate them raw, but we
Okay.
would grill them, and they would turn. It was like a little pork bite, man, with a corn nut on the top of it, and they were delicious. The corn nut's
I would
the
be
head.
interested. Oh, I was gonna say I would be interested to see if you ate one now, if you still think they're delicious, or if you were just desperate and hungry and
Oh no, like it. I ate them on multiple occasions. So that's the one that probably like makes people the most uncomfortable. The one that I think is maybe weirder is guinea pigs are like feral, like they're like squirrels in Peru in the mountains.
I've
And
heard that.
I've eaten my fair share of cuy.
What?
Which they're delicious. I don't know what to say.
Really? They are good, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in the South, so eating squirrel was, that was something you did.
Mm.
Squirrel, rabbit, it's all good. I love all those little critters. Just for different reasons than most kids.
Well, now I'm embarrassed. My weirdest thing, so I also mission. I was in Wisconsin, but I served with the Hmong people. And so I was pretty fresh and I was really not great at the language. We went to this old lady who only spoke Hmong and was like straight up jungle woman. Like she made this dinner herself and she went out and caught the fish and just I don't even think she gutted it. She just chucked it in the oil so it's staring back at you and you're just supposed to like pick at it while it's watching you eat it. But there was a soup there. And I asked her what it was, and I thought she said, to be honest, I don't know what I thought she said. For a second, I thought it was just regular like beef broth or whatever. And then you just eat with a big spoon, and I stuck my spoon in there and brought it up, and there was a rodent head on there, like had been boiled. You could just see the teeth, just like, and it was just squirrel. Like she'd gone out that morning and cut a squirrel up and threw it in some broth and just handed it to us. And I did not grow up eating squirrel. So, I mean, we tried it, but I couldn't get over the head looking back at me and the teeth and stuff. So that was probably the weirdest thing. And I feel bad. I'd like to give her another shot, but I was so freaked out with the fish looking back at me and the squirrel eyes and the mouth that I was just like, nah, we're good. So that was probably the weirdest thing.
if we're keeping score, I think I won that one. But
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, what do you think? One more question from both of them?
at least I'm kind of having fun, but I know Hallie needs to get to bed.
Do that.
She
Whitney
doesn't
needs to get
sleep.
to bed.
Who are we
She's more
kidding?
what I'm worried about.
Ah,
If she doesn't
I'll
get her beauty sleep, she's impossible to live with.
it's true. I'll make this one easier on you.
Rude.
Do you have any nicknames? And why do you have that nickname? That should be
Not-
easier.
I'm not sure Haley wants me to share that with everybody.
Oh,
Whitney.
I don't want to
Oh.
hear that.
Gross.
I'm not sure Haley could come up with a dirty nickname if her life depended on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. I'll share
yeah.
mine, but
I was pretty quiet in high school, and so I didn't talk very much. When I did, it was just, I mean, I have a pretty monotone voice, and so when I was playing football, they called me Eeyore because every time they asked me anything, it was just like, well, I guess, yeah, I'll do that. So everybody in high school called me Eeyore. That was probably, I think that might be the only nickname I ever had. Am I missing one, Whit?
Mhm.
Besides, like,
Michelle.
yeah, my sister used to call me Michelle. They thought they were
I don't know.
I was very traumatized as a child. Nowadays, that would be encouraged, but you know.
Whoa, tread lightly, Michael.
Yeah.
So my dad has called me Doodah for my entire life. Because there's the old camp, like Boy Scout campfire song, Doodah, Doodah, all the Doodah day. Because when I was little, I did everything that my dad did, so I became Doodah, just like the song.
No.
And then in high school, my junior year, we moved from Chicago to this little teeny tiny town. I went from a high school of like 3,000 or 4,000 kids to a high school of like 700, which was smaller than my graduating class would have been in Chicago. And on my first day, everybody in the whole school knew that there was a new kid from Chicago coming. And they called me, like the teachers knew, the kids knew, like they didn't know what my name was, but they knew I was from Chicago. So my junior and senior year, I went by Chicago.
Mm.
To the point where my sister, who was 2 years behind me, when she was a senior, people were still referring to her as Chicago's little sister. So that's those are my nicknames.
I like it.
All right, Haley.
I was trying to decide. It's my last one.
Make it good.
Tough decision. I'd go like classic embarrassing moment, but I don't know if that's good enough.
I don't get embarrassed. So.
All right.
Yeah, we've got a YouTube channel and we've recorded live
We
action
rode in a
in
parade.
Costco. We have no self-shame at this point.
Oh, that's
You
true.
put on face masks.
That's
You
true.
jammed out to Taylor Swift.
Yes, we did. I have no regrets.
I feel like me and Haley could have a lot of answers to that question.
I am proud. I am proud of all of the things that you've just said, Whitney.
Yep, 100%.
Okay, let's do this one then. Is there a silly accomplishment you've made or done that you're secretly very proud of?
Secretly?
Or maybe
I mean,
not.
I moved that vending machine last weekend, and I'm pretty freaking proud of that.
That's awesome.
Did you throw out a shoulder or smash a finger in doing so?
I threw out my entire body, Whitney. I laid on the couch when I was done. Something that I'm secretly proud of. When I was a teenager, I ate an entire large 14-inch Lil Malnati's deep dish pizza by myself.
Wow.
On purpose?
Well,
No,
so it's
an accident.
Hey, I've seen you accidentally eat a lot of things.
Hey, that's enough of you.
It's a mixed story because while I'm quite proud of the fact that I did that, and anyone who knows anything about Chicago deep dish pizza understands exactly how much food it is that I've done that. And actually, now that I think of it, there's a different eating accomplishment that I'm probably more proud of. But I was pretty proud about that until a 95-pound, 4 foot nothing, 16-year-old girl. I was 16 at the time too. Ate 1.5 just to prove that she could eat more than me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So props to her.
Well done.
I have also completed the gallon challenge of drinking a gallon of milk in less than an hour and not hurling for 30 minutes.
What about after 30 minutes?
About 37, and I hurled all over
There
my
it is.
lawn. Hey, the challenge was 30 minutes with me. I
Well
made it
done,
30
man.
minutes.
Way to hold it in.
I made it about 32 minutes and it was projectile vomiting the milk. It was the most wild experience of my life. I've never projectile vomited, and it was literally like exorcist style. Just, it was crazy.
That's my only method for puking is straight
Ew.
projectile. Like it is a physical, like physically taxing experience every time I puke. So I don't do it very often, but yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one. Why don't kids do things like that? Like, who eats a Tide Pod and thinks that's a cool idea? Like, just friggin' chug a gallon of milk and keep it down, kids.
Be a man, all right?
All right, Mike, what's yours?
Oh, I'm pretty proud of most of my accomplishments. I know. And how old was I, Whitney? I was probably
I don't
12.
know what you're talking about.
And sorry, I just always, you're my go-to because you usually know. I was probably 12, and we were at a rodeo in my mom's hometown. And I just hopped in the pig chase. It's like, yeah, all right, I'll do this. I mean, we lived in the suburbs, like I guess city. We didn't have a place for a pig, but if you caught this pig, you have to keep it. And my mom was like, well, he's fat and slow. There's no way he's going to get it. So I hopped in, and all these little kids are chasing that pig around, and I'm just kind of, moseying around. And he runs between my legs, and I just sit on him, and I caught the pig. My mom was pissed. Like, I've never seen her that upset. It was awesome. She would not let me take it home in the Suburban. It had to stay with my uncles. But I was pretty dang proud of wrangling the pig.
Was the pig okay?
Oh, yeah, he was fine. He was a tough old bird. I'm sure he made delicious bacon in a year or so. But, yeah, I did. He just ran between my legs, and I just went right on top of him. It was pretty awesome. I have no regrets. I'm still very proud of it, but I don't think anybody really cares.
Next time I see your mom, I'm going to ask her about the pig.
Please do, because I'm interested to hear how she would tell a third party. Because she's very proper and would be like, "Oh, it was fine," but she was irate when I just walked up to her holding this pig. Like, what are you doing? It was awesome.
That's awesome. All right. Okay. Well, this has been fun. And as a surprise twist, I don't think we can let the girls off the hook.
Obviously
Oh,
not.
but you can.
No, it ain't happening.
So Mike and I each are going to ask you a question. So Mike, you got yours ready?
You go first. I think so, but I'm mulling between two.
Okay. I have a pre-question.
You
Whitney
get
was-
one.
No, this is a pre-question. It's a two-part question. And I already know Haley's answer to this, but when it was Mike your first kiss?
Yes.
Okay.
Lock
Ladies.
it down.
Hey, I was also Haley's first kiss.
What were we thinking, Haley?
Whatever. I don't recall you complaining at the time.
So the question is,
Except I was not his first, so
this should be painful. This could be painful for us, Mike. So let's hope. I have confidence.
My
But-
internet connection's a little spotty, so
Oh, don't you dare.
Did
We're using the same internet connection.
yeah. Please share the details of your first kiss and whether or not it lived up to your expectations.
Oh.
again, a good question for you to ask when you're thousands of miles away.
Hey, I already
Thanks a
know
lot,
that
man. She's 10 feet behind me.
I already know I didn't live up to Haley's expectations for her first kiss, but let's hear it, Whit.
Not Whitney. It was a freaking fairy tale.
Is she like sitting there trying to act like she's frozen while Hallie?
No,
No, I'm not
Whitney.
frozen. I'm
Moving in
waiting
the
for Haley to
background.
go first.
No, you gotta go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
We
will.
were. Can't even remember what happened. I think he stole my phone. Does that sound right?
I don't remember
And
that.
I was like, "Give me my phone back," and he was like, "You have to arm wrestle me for it, and if you win, you can have it back. But if I win, you have to kiss me." Like I could win an arm wrestle.
You still agreed to it. All right. You knew the
It's
terms.
true. It is true.
I got consent.
But I was really a shy person. I know you might not believe that now, but I was pretty shy, and so mostly I was just terrified and frozen in fear. I think Mike can attest to that. So,
Yeah.
about how it went.
It is true. Her lips did not move. It felt uncomfortable a little bit. Like she was like unconscious. Like, okay. There you go.
Proof.
oh man.
Let's hear it, Haley.
Oh man. Okay, so
Hang on, wait, pause.
What?
Whitney didn't answer the question. Did it live up to expectations?
Oh, I mean, I thought I answered that in the fact that no, I was frozen in fear. So,
Jeez. I
Disappointing.
think you're wooing somebody.
so I mean, really, that's my fault.
Yeah, I know.
All right, go ahead, Haley.
really remember all the details. Remember we were in the middle, like we'd gone for a walk, so we were in the middle of a field. The hyper
Was this
field.
before or after the iconic "We Good"?
This was after.
Yeah. After. Okay. Gotcha.
the weekend happened, and then it was like Thanksgiving break or something not too long after that. So like we each went home, and then after that, anyway, after Thanksgiving break, we came back to school. And yeah, and I don't really remember all the details, but I'm pretty
John thought it was this magical
sure
moment.
like the first kiss happened, and I might have wiped it off when we were done.
Oh. Whoa. Come
Slobbery for me.
All right, boys. Kissing an unconscious person or having it wiped off after, which is better?
I think I'd rather have the wipe off just so I know you still have a pulse.
Well, we're 14 years in, and she's still wiping kisses off, and I've tried everything, so I've just accepted it as my fate. All right, Mike, let's finish strong.
All right. I want a detailed debate over this. All right. You're both of the generation. Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team
I
Jacob
know
all
you've
the
given it a
way.
lot of thought. Go ahead.
Oh, I
Whitney.
have. I was quite the Twilight fanatic. I'm pretty sure I had a shirt that said Team Jacob. So,
Why Jacob?
because Edward's a creep. This was before the movies,
Okay.
so you just had to go by description in the book. But still, he was still a creep. That's what I think. The end.
Oh, Bella didn't seem to think he was a creep.
Well,
But
she's
didn't
a
he like
creep,
watch
too.
her sleep?
Yeah, and he glistened.
That's hot.
Glistened.
He
No.
sat over her, watching and protecting.
Oh, gross.
Say it.
All right,
Wow.
Haley.
Vampire.
Vampire.
Okay, so I read all the books, but was not quite the fanatic that John's like mom and sister and aunt were. So I think
Uh-huh.
you have more of an opinion on this than I do.
John thought you'd be really into this question.
Didn't they make you read them too?
Yeah, right after I got home off my mission, it was awkward.
And you got dragged to like all the movies and stuff too. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
Well, no, the movies came out after the books. Like I was at school, I didn't go like to the midnight showings with them. Yeah. But Haley,
Hmm.
you can answer the question?
Oh no, I'm probably with Wit on this one. Team Jacob. Yeah.
Is it because Edward's a creep? Or is it just because Jacob takes his shirt off a lot?
I mean, you
It's a fair
know.
question.
Well, I mean, so did Edward, but he glistened.
And that's what did it for you. You don't like the
Part of
clips.
it.
Plus, like Taylor Lautner was like, Taylor Swift's only good ex. So you have to like him because of that.
That's true.
Valid.
Isn't that back to September? Is
December.
that Taylor Lautner? December.
Yep.
Nice.
I love that it all came back to Taylor Swift.
Listen, the girl knows her stuff. All right. If we can tap into her fan base, we're gonna go viral.
Hey, let's just put it this way. Swifties come in all shapes and sizes. I was at a lunch with one of my vendors today, and I'm probably one of the youngest people in my industry, by a long shot. Like This guy's probably got 15 or 20 years on me. And he's been to see Taylor Swift live twice.
Taking a granddaughter?
No, with his wife. I mean, one of the times she was playing the Strawberry Festival in outside of Tampa in a high school like stadium. So that's like it was before she went big. But anyways, there's no shame in being a Swiftie.
No, absolutely not.
We may have to work on a logo that incorporates Swifties forever
I'm on board.
with our fat guys.
Yikes.
That's just
Oh, shoot. Well, ladies, thanks for being the bright ray of sunshine that lights up the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast.
Yikes.
Wow.
We'd only be at 8 and wouldn't be able to say tens of viewers without you.
It's true.
We really pushed it over the top for you there.
Yeah. As long as you watch this when it comes out. So,
Then you'll hit double digits.
yeah, then we'll get to the double.
Yeah, trust me, you reach a new level of awkward and uncomfortable when you watch or listen to yourself on a podcast.
Just don't.
Well, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
Go ahead,
And this
girls.
is Fat Guys with Smoke.
Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.